It's the Lions talk, 4 men in the room. One ass cheek, 3 toes bringing the doom. Nate on the clock, Jay catching the heat. Chris and Bia arguing right on the street. One ass cheek, 3 toes. One ass cheek, Detroit knows. Lions on the map, we don't care about the woes. One ass cheek, 3 toes, this how the show goes. Golf throwing dots, Hutch hitting the gap. We put the whole city right back on the map. No more same old, we done changed the whole vibe. 4 voices deep, talking about the whole tribe. Yeah, one ass cheek, 3 toes. Nate, Chris, BA Lions talk only, get gone.
And we're back. How are y'all fellas doing today?
Good, man.
Yeah, training camp started last week. Got a preseason game next week against the Bengals. So yeah, just getting ready, ramping up for the football season, and we got some good topics to talk about. So let's just dive into it. So today we're going to talk about Gibby. He got his extension. I believe it was Friday, right? Right?
Yep.
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah. Friday. 3 years, 70. How much?
Wait. I think it was Thursday. I think he got his deal.
Okay,
well, no, they talk about that. No, it was Friday. Friday morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it was official.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it was official on Friday. Yeah.
He
3 years for what, 67.7 up to 71.
Yeah, 51 guaranteed.
50,
yeah. All right.
That's
so
salute, man.
I mean, we knew he was going to get a deal done. He's that good of a player, and
What's up,
he deserves his.
What's up, man?
He deserves his money. So, what do y'all think? Do y'all think that's a fair deal compared to what Bijan Robinson got was $375, 3 years for $75 million? I don't know how much guaranteed he got. I'm sure Gibby got more than Bijan guaranteed. But do y'all feel like that was the right deal? Does it sit well with y'all?
Yeah.
I mean, in the running back sense of mine, no. I think all these running backs should get paid a little bit more, to tell you the truth. But yeah, I don't have a problem with him getting signed. Obviously, he's a cog in our wheel of offense. But I just don't like the way the whole thing went down. Y'all got to stop being greedy out there. You athletes got to stop being real greedy. Because, dude, you had 2 years left on your contract. Same for Bijan. 2 years left on your contract, and you signed a 5th-year extension. Come on. I can understand if you have 1 year left. But don't sign your 5th-year extension if you're going to do something like that. That's not a good look. And there's a lot of backlash about GIBBS getting signed, too. His whole holding out thing. There was a lot of backlash on him about that. It's not a good look. Don't you're a good running back. You earn that position.
Yeah, I in a sense I do agree with you, B, but I also have to say, like,
what's up, C Money?
What's up, C Money? I also have to say, like, with the shelf life of running backs being so short now due to a lot of injuries and them bouncing from team to team after a couple years after really their first contract, they're looking to get the money while they can. Running backs are expendable. They face a lot of injuries, more so than any other offensive player, if you think about it. And I mean, the fact is, when you get a star like JAHMYR GIBBS, he's going to get paid. Bijan Robinson and JAHMYR GIBBS are really the 2 most talked about running backs in the league right now. So they're going to generate a lot of buzz. They're really one of the most important pieces outside of the quarterback. They're going to get their money. I mean, yeah. I agree he should have played out his deal, but when they want that money, they're going to get it, no matter if they got to hold out of practice, no matter what they got to do. So, I mean, it just is what it is. I knew it was coming. We all knew it was coming.
Yeah, I think this is an interesting situation in the sense that you don't see 2 running backs in the same class literally be this good right off the bat and literally are, like, tied at the hip as far as trying to get their contract done. Both sat out, both wanted big money, both are very good players. You could argue they're 1A, 1B or whatever. Some people have Bijan over GIBBS and some people have GIBBS over Bijan. Doesn't matter. They're both stellar running backs in their prime or haven't even hit their prime, really. The thing is that, like, with GIBBS' situation, like, my thing I wrap my head around is that if you wanted the extension, which that's what clearly wanted, why sign the 5th-year option? You know, like why not just hold out that 5th-year option and say, I want the extension? Because then the Lions would have probably done that, and they wouldn't even have to gone through training camp, him holding out, and he probably would have gotten it for less than what Bijan got. Because once they got Bijan signed, they were handcuffed. They had no choice. Media, players, even players on the team were all advocating for him to get paid. So they had no choice. They had to pay him after GIBBS got paid. I mean, after Bijan got paid.
Question.
So,
I got a question.
Well, then then Jonathan
Stewart got paid.
Stewart got paid. Yeah,
he did. And I got a
trickle down effect.
That dude just said when he saw Bijan got paid, he just said, "You know what? I gotta get some money." He walked right.
Paid last year.
Give me some more money. I need some more money. I need some more
I was
money.
about to say, he can just get a contract.
That dude did that just like that.
And we can also argue that Jonathan Taylor probably means more to everybody's offense than Bijan or GIBBS. Like, he is the Colts offense. The Lions still have JAHMYR, they still have Amon-Ra, they still have Laporta. The Falcons have Drake London, they have Pitts. You know, they still got dudes. Like, but the Colts have nobody. They literally have Tom Taylor.
Do you guys think he wanted the contract so soon because you have to factor in now you still got Laporta out there, and you got Brian Branch, who came from that same class, and they're going to be up for extension soon too. So, I mean, how much does that play a factor?
I mean, that's all. That really has. I mean, he just probably just wanted to get paid. I don't think he even thought about the rest of that.
Okay.
I think he wanted to get out of the way. If I was trying to say, he wanted to focus on football like Aiden did when he got his deal done. You know.
Yeah, right to the well. What's up, J Train?
What's up, J Train?
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think that's more something that the organization has to worry about, other than the player don't care about that. They just want to get paid. So,
yeah, it's funny you mentioned this draft class. This 2023 draft class, I believe, is what it was, with Sam Laporta, Jack Campbell, JAHMYR GIBBS, and Brian Branch. This probably will be the most expensive draft class they've ever had. Like, literally, and it's well deserving. I mean, Sam Laporta is going to get paid. Brian Branch is going to get paid. GIBBS already got paid. Jack already got paid. So, I mean, this class is going to be the most expensive draft class that Brad's ever had. But they've also balled out in the field. Let's be honest. Like, they've all showed their worth. You know, obviously, Branch and Laporta need to show at least half a season of health, and then they're going to get paid. So, I mean, but I'm glad that they rewarded Jack Campbell on a stellar last year, and it's only going to get better. And then Gibby the sky's the limit for Gibby. I mean, Gibby can be arguably the offensive player of the year if it really happens. So I'm glad they got it done. And I applaud the Lions for signing their own. Like, they draft, they develop, and they sign their own. I'm totally fine with that mantra, because that's a winning formula. You look at other teams that have had successes, they've drafted, they develop, and they sign their own. That's the way it should be.
That's how it is.
So congrats to Gibby. He not only got an extension, but he also got an extension cord. Thought that was pretty hilarious too. I just love the Lions, man. They're so creative with their players.
Football team, you're going to play. That's the cost of having stars. You're going to pay. Be that.
They're worth it, man. What's up, Liz? Yeah, so Toto got a extension too, Liz. The linebacker for y'all. Yeah. But the thing is with the Lions too is that, like, when Gibby, I haven't listened to his whole presser yet. I want to listen to it. But he basically, Exer said he wanted to stay in Detroit. He knew that coming to Detroit there was a lot of negativity behind it, but he saw the difference in Detroit with the people, the fan base, the culture, and all that. And you don't hear players talking about culture with the Lions. Like, this is new to us, because back in the day, culture was never associated with the Lions in a good way.
What you got against Liz, man?
Anyways, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it was never associated in this kind of good fashion, and so it's great to hear. It makes me smile. Yeah, I'm glad that they got it taken care of. Now let's get on the field. Let's kick ass, and he's going to be fine.
Yeah, I agree.
No problems with him.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, we have. I mean, there's been other signings too. We've had a plethora of running backs. Now, it was easy to establish the fact that we had a plethora of running backs coming in and try out because of the Gibbs situation, but it wasn't Gibbs. That was the situation. It was Pacheco, who once again has not been in training camp. This is going to be his third day not being in training camp because he's hurt. This is the problem. Why I didn't like them getting Pacheco.
Yeah.
This is news. This news to me. What did he get hurt on?
That was on this morning when I checked out the thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on.
Well,
but anyway.
I get it. I mean, but he's also,
I think that's the reason why. I think it was kept quiet because sometimes when you make a signing, you don't really want to say, "Oh, the guy that was often injured. Guess what? He's injured again." He's kind of like
Also, Sion Baki broke his nose, so he's out for a little bit. So that's another one.
So Sailors really is your running back too.
Yeah, and Sailors isn't bad.
Sailors is a pretty good running back. Yeah.
I liked him in preseason. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully the Pacheco injury is not anything serious. I didn't hear about that one. That one's new to me. I'll have to look into that. But let's go ahead and move on to our next topic. So I'm going to do a little buy and sell of some of the Lions storylines that I thought were the most important as far as going to training camp. So let me pull up my list here. And I'm just going to ask y'all, buy or sell, what the question I'm going to ask you. So first off, we're going to start with Sewell at left tackle permanently now. He is going to be your left tackle. He's been interviewed and said that he wishes he has it all figured out, but he understands it's going to take time. But I think he's kind of like just joshing us a little bit. I think that he knows he's going to kick ass at this position. This is his natural position. But to be honest, maybe he is going to take a little time, get more reps and all that. But watching him go against Aiden, he looks good. And if you can block Aiden, you can block a lot of good ends in the NFL. Aiden's one of the top 5 NFL ends in the NFL. So iron sharpens iron.
I haven't heard too many things going on that side of the line though. When he's been practicing out there, I haven't heard that pressure. Derek Moore has been tearing up everybody on the outside, but not on Penay's side. So
I don't think many people are going to guess.
I'm not worried about Penay.
Okay,
switching over to left tackle.
Yeah. Well, when it's all said and done, Penay Sewell is going to be a gold jacket, first ballot Hall of Famer. That's my question. I'm buying it
for sure. He's already on that trade.
Out of position for the last 5 years, 5 seasons, and he's been an All-Pro. So you can only imagine when he goes back to his original spot where he's naturally playing position, it's going to be even better. So
he's already as good as Trent Williams is, and he's barely going into his prime. That's
can I say this really quick without a little criticism? It might be better.
He will be better. But I'm saying right now he's right on that level of Trent Williams, like literally, and he's going into his prime.
But he's the top 37th player out of 100.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Let's throw that list out the window. All that list is messed up anyway.
There better not be any tackles. There better not be any tackles after that. Maybe there's 36 better offensive players than tackles.
He got a lot more. He got a lot more to go.
Okay, so my buy or sell is: are you buying that Penay Sewell will be another All-Pro this year?
Yep,
absolutely. Buying. Put the
house money on it.
I agree. Okay, let me throw a caveat in there. Is he the protector of the year?
Yep.
I think so.
I'm gonna say yes too. Okay.
Look, you gotta buy there.
And that,
there you go.
And that would be crazy too, because he did it at the right tackle and now he's doing it at the left tackle. When have we seen a tackle do that on both sides of that level? I don't think we've ever seen that. We might have to go back in the books and look and see when a tackle has won All-Pro on both sides. Because they use it predominantly one side.
That's Hall of Fame stuff right there, though.
So absolutely, yeah. He's like the Ohtani. He's like the Ohtani of the NFL, where you can go both sides and still be dominant. So, anyways, all right. The next one was the signing of Derek White. Obviously, Rotor, yeah. Devin White, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, Rotor is out for a while. He should be back this season, but he's out for a while. So they obviously signed Devin White. They had been looking at Devin White before they drafted Rotor. they just kind of went with like a wait and see approach. Like, hey, if this guy goes down, we'll give you a call, come to us. He's an LSU linebacker. You know, Shep loves that. He's had history with Casey Rogers from Tampa Bay. They were on the same staff. So a lot of history there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Devin White speaks for himself, had 170 tackles last year for Vegas, a couple of sacks, 3 PBUs. So he was very active for a bad defense, very bad defense outside of Crosby. So are you buying or selling Devin White being better than Derek Barnes this year?
No. I'm not buying that. I think Derek Barnes is still. I mean,
okay, so you're selling that idea.
I think Derek Barnes is still like a young. He got a lot of talent and younger, and Devin White's on a prove it deal. You know, I'm not going to expect him to come in and play at an all pro level. He's going to come in and make a lot of good tackles and plays, but Derek Barnes is. I think he's going to be better. That's no shade to White. I think Barnes is going to be better. So I'm selling.
B, what do you say?
I'll put it to you this way. Now, J Train said sell because he can't cover. His job's not going to be to cover. His job's going to be to rush.
Guy. Yeah,
he's a rush guy. He's not going to be covering nobody. That's what middle linebacker's job's going to be, and maybe with a little bit of Derek Barnes. And Derek Barnes ain't really the greatest cover. Campbell is probably our best cover linebacker anyway.
Agree.
But I would say that he would play opposite, side of. He played the opposite of Derek Barnes, and then I think he can start. That's what I guarantee he's going to start. If he gets out there and has a heck of a training camp, he's going to start. That's what they're looking for, basically.
So if he starts, they only play usually 2 linebackers. They only play a base defense of 2 linebackers. So would you say he starts over Barnes?
I mean, he could switch out with Barnes.
Mm-hmm.
I think in certain situations. I think that they'll probably put Barnes in more when it's coverage, and then keep Devin White when it's
Robbie.
Bro, Robbie, what is wrong with you, bro?
That had nothing to do with what we're talking about, but thank you.
Robbie, what is wrong with you, bro?
I don't think he's a Devin White fan. That's what that is.
I'm with Jay. Actually, I think this is going to be a breakout year for Derek Barnes. I really think now with Alex out of the way, I think this is Derek Barnes' role to take and run with it. And God willing, he stays healthy. He's got a lot of talent. I mean, people got to remember, he started at defensive end when Brad drafted. So he's learned the linebacker position. And now under 2 years with Shep, I think you're going to see a more unleashed Derek Barnes. Yeah. But I like Devin White too. So I honestly think the Lions have a really good trio to go with. Like you said, if you want to switch Barnes out or put Devin White in certain packages, I'm totally fine with that. I feel more confident about the linebacking room now because before Devin White, you had Roeder and you had Rodrigo, and I love Rodrigo.
And
I really was hoping.
Anzalone.
Who?
Anzalone.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is like before, now that Anzalone's gone, if you didn't sign Derek White, you had Roeder and you had Rodrigo. Rodrigo's coming off an ACL. We don't know how healthy he's going to be coming. Roeder is a rookie. So there was a lot of uncertainty at that third position at the linebacker. Now you feel better knowing that you've got Jack Campbell, who's a star. Derek Barnes, I really think is going to take a step forward this year. And then Derek White's an all-pro kind of player that's just going to come in and just do the dirty work, end-to-end speed. He's not the biggest guy, but he can rush the passer. He can get in packages. He can cover those tight ends. He can cover those running backs out of the flats because of the speed. So I feel more better about the linebacker position now going forward. And then on top of that, if Roeder gets healthy, I like what I saw from Roeder, and Rodrigo's there too because he'll be the special teamer guy.
Yep. So I agree.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the next one. So a guy that really has been jumping off the Lions beat writers' pages, Nick Whiteside. Nick Whiteside has done a really good job so far in camp. A lot of PBUs, a lot of good coverage, good tight coverages on the receivers. I mean, he's getting every day. He's going against Amon-Ra St. Brown, all-pro. JMO, we're going to talk about a little bit later, could be on that trajectory to being a star to pro at some point in his career. Like his trajectory is just going up and up. And then on top of that, he's got to go against Isaac Tesla, a bigger receiver who's got a great range with catching the ball. So he's got a lot of good work with those receivers to get better. So buy or sell Nick Whiteside being in the rotation at cornerback this year. Not on the roster, but being in the rotation, meaning that he's either going in for starting minutes or he's going in split minutes with somebody.
I'll buy that.
I'm buying that.
They're very thin at in the secondary. So, somebody who contributed last year, and did a good job at it. I mean, there's always going to be a place for you on that team. So I'll buy that.
I didn't like the negativity that was surrounded by him last year, but he went out there and he played. He played every time he was out there on the field. He played lights out. And there's certain things that you can tell. Looking at a cornerback, if they're going to be worthy of the NFL, being playing in the NFL, and he had all those assets. Last year, they said, well, they didn't go to him again, and they didn't do this, and they didn't put him back out on the field. I said, well, that's a Lions mistake, and I think that was a big mistake in their secondary last year because they did not do that. They didn't play him in certain situations, and they should have played him. I think they listen. Now he's showing out again. It's training camp. Let's be real. But at the same time, I see that he's a good corner, so he should make the start rotation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with 100% B.
Yeah, I think when you look at the cornerback room and what's been discussed in training camp so far, the two guys that people have said have really looked good have been Whiteside and Rakestraw. And that's promising, because we need one of those guys to come in and step up because we know what Reed's going to do. We know what Rock's going to do. I'm even high on Abney. I love Abney. I think Abney's going to be a really good fit for us, so I'm not worried about Abney. But then you've got to worry about McCray. I haven't heard a lot from McCray, and apparently McCray hasn't been very impressive at all. So I don't know if it's a fit or what's going on with him. But then you got guys like Nick Whiteside and Rakestraw. So if those guys can be serviceable behind our starters, then I'm feeling better about that room too.
What about Isian, the newly signed?
More like a safety.
Yeah, they're gonna do nickel safety with him. Yeah, probably like they did with Branch. When Branch was first on.
With that signing, I really want to know because I know Keith Abney's going to play a lot of nickel as well too. So Maddox, he's back there too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
and Chuck Clark.
Yeah, I think those are gonna be your starting safeties right there. If I was to bet.
Robbie don't like Chuck Clark either.
You said Chuck Clark and who else?
Maddox.
Okay.
Maddox, Christian Eisen. Izzy could probably start.
Don't count out BB, man. BB's been looking really good off the sidelines, working out and all that.
Off the sidelines and a workout. I'm not going to worry about that until the start of the season. We can find out what's really going on.
Yeah.
We need to really find out what's going on with Kirby, and we really need to find out what's going on with BB, or they can actually
Well, we know what's going on with BB. He blew his Achilles, so he's recovering from that. Kirby's the one that we don't know. We don't know what the hell to expect.
But Kirby, but even with that being said, BB is still got quite a while until he gets.
Oh yeah, I don't expect him to be there to start the season. I don't. I think wishful thinking. He's already cutting and all that is good. But yeah, he's gonna need more time.
Weeks before Thanksgiving.
They're gonna take their time with these guys. There's a reason why they loaded up on the veterans and the safety because they know these guys are gonna take time. They're not gonna rush them.
I agree with you.
But Izzy's another one you can throw in there too that they do like in the secondary room. But like I said, I'm really looking for Whiteside to continue to do his thing. I think Whiteside's gonna have a huge role in this team. And then God help if Rakestraw can stay healthy, man, because the guy's got talent. He can play. He just needs to stay freaking healthy. So, all right, let's move on. So let's talk about the O-line. So, obviously Penei Sewell gets a lot of love. I thought the interesting stat about the O-line was that none of these guys have ever played with each other. That's crazy. None of them have never played next to each other.
And again, once again, this team is going to be predicated on where their offensive line gets going early because, like last year, same thing happened, and they didn't do a very good job coming out the gate. Mm-hmm. So.
Also, I gotta add on there too. Isaiah Pacheco's going to play a big part in that too. Our running backs are going to just because we lost David Montgomery. Now we knew that Montgomery and Gibby was split carries, but now we don't have that guy that can split carries and be as durable as Montgomery. I think that's going to play a big role as well in this offense, you know, because you can't lean on Gibby on every single play. You know,
They're going to try.
They're going to hope not, but
you're paying him like that. I mean, look at the Falcons. They got rid of Algier.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean,
it's just like we know. I think the Falcons, when it comes to more of a complete offense and running offense, I should say, I think the Lions are more of a rushing offense than the Falcons are, because they can utilize two people. I mean, David Montgomery and Gibbs were the best running back tandem in the league. I don't think anyone can argue that.
Yeah.
Now that you're missing that power guy, are you still the same way, or do you switch things up? How does that work?
But I would argue too, in the sense that even if Montgomery was still on this team, I think they were going to give Gibbs a bigger load.
And that's the mistake that I think that the Lions are making.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, when Ben Johnson, this is the reason why that is the most visible absence of Ben Johnson right there. Ben Johnson knew how to have a happy medium between them two running backs because he knew how to use them right.
Yeah.
When they got to John Morton didn't know how to use them, and then when Campbell took over, he didn't know how to use them, and to the detriment of Campbell because he's the head coach, and Montgomery had to say, hey, I'm not getting enough carries. And to tell you the truth, Morton actually used him more in the 8 games that he OC'd than Campbell did in the last 9, and it showed.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's you know.
But I think also too, when you talk about Gibbs being on the field more, it's more than just running the ball. It's the usage as far as maybe putting him out in the flat, putting him as a receiver. You know, we've been talking about that before. And he needs to become a better blocker. There's no doubt about that. Tashard Choice has been very clear about that. That if you're going to be a 3-down back, you have to be a better blocker.
That's something that's scary, you know, because you're going to ask him to take on, 15, 20 carries in a game. And then you're going to ask him to block. And then you're going to want to pass him the ball. That's going to be a lot.
But the best running backs are out there for 3 downs.
I agree.
Saquon Barkley, Bijan Robinson. The best running backs are out there for all 3 downs. The thing is with Gibby is he needs to become a better blocker. If he can't be a better blocker, they're going to put somebody else out there. That's why Montgomery was coming that duty a lot of times in pass situations because he was a better blocker than Gibby. I think Gibby can become a better blocker. It just takes time, but he has to work on that.
Yeah. And that'll be the only time I tell you that I think that Ben Johnson would have came in handy for a time like now, because it wasn't just like a one person kind of thing. He literally shared the wealth for everybody. He knew how to utilize every weapon. So, also too, we got to utilize the passing game too, because you've got 3 receivers: Tesla, Brown, JAHMYR, Laporta. If you want to call him a 4th receiver, you've got 4 good options to throw the ball to for Jared Goff. So it's gonna be like this is why Petzing is important, because he's going to have to find ways to get the flow like Ben Johnson did. Know when to run, know when to pass, know when to pull in the other running back or pull out the receiver or something like that. Like, you got to be smart on you're looking at your matchups and all that. So the Lions just got a really good situation. They have a lot of weapons to go about. A lot of teams don't have what we have. And so it's a good problem to have, and we'll see what Petzing does with these kind of weapons.
I think that's the important thing too, because you got to understand Ben Johnson was the ebb and flow guy, okay, sure. And that's something that we missed last year. Now the offense still clicked because we still have talented, all pro players out there.
Sure.
But there's Goff, I don't care what nobody says, the top 5 quarterback in the league. Huh. You can sit there and everybody's listening.
No argument there, but
they want to do. But he's got the stats to prove it, so it doesn't make a difference. And on top of that, then you got Amon St. Brown, top 3 or 4 receiver every year. You got JAHMYR, who's coming up there. Isaac Tisla, this will be his first season that he's going to actually
be a bigger role,
be a starter.
Bigger role. Right.
And you got Laporte, you got Gibbs. I mean, these guys are all pros at their level, and then you got one guy that anchors the offensive line that he's in the Hall of Fame already. So as far as I'm concerned,
B, real quick, you said that Amon-Ra St. Brown is a top 3 receiver every year. What separates him from people like legit like Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase? You know, looking at the stats. I'm
Just
talking about
just the athleticism.
every year,
Athleticism.
and touchdowns, and 1,000+ yards the last 3 seasons. What separates him from those guys?
Consistency.
I think route running.
Yeah.
Route running and knowing where the ball's, knowing where to be in situations. Like
he's consistent.
The year,
man. That's all he is.
The year they went to their first playoffs. The first time they went all the way to the NFC Championship. That first playoff, or it was the second playoff game against Tampa Bay. And he got that third down in a crucial situation. And that's what ultimately closed that game out, because he got that third down. Was like the Rams. I think it was the Rams the year before. Well, was the Rams? Yeah, I think it was the Rams. It was the Rams. And he got that third down to close out that game, because that was a tightly contested game. The Rams and them were like neck to neck in that game. So, and just to have that presence of mind and know where to be at third down, know where the sticks are at, that separates him from a lot. Justin Jefferson is he's not a route run. Well, he can run routes, but
he's a physical freak. He's a physical freak.
Yeah, he's more of a speed. If you turn your head 1 minute, he's gone. You might as well forget it, because he's getting the ball.
He can make the
problem with and that's the problem with the. You can see it with the quarterbacks that he's been having the last quarterback he had.
Yeah.
Be J.J. McCarthy is not getting him the ball. I don't think that Kyle is going to be able to do that either. Right now, he's frustrated, and he needs to. I think he needs a good quarterback to go to. He's talking about going to a different team. When you're talking about going to a different team, that's what I'm saying. It's all about the quarterback play too.
The only difference, in my opinion, between Amon-Ra and Jamar Jefferson and Chase is just the physicality and the athleticism that both those receivers have.
Thank you.
So they can high point the ball anywhere you want. They have the speed. They have the hands. They have everything from a physical, athletic standpoint. Amon-Ra is a physical receiver, but he doesn't have the speed of Chase or Jefferson. And he doesn't have the jumping ability of Chase or Jefferson, or the height. But other than that, their stats are almost similar, which is crazy.
And that's the thing. I think, and I know a lot of people are going to get upset when I say this, but look at the numbers. And Jared Goff is better than the quarterbacks that Justin Jefferson has ever played with or whatever. But when you look at it, they even this season they went 3-13-1. You've seen the talent in Amon-Ra St. Brown. You've seen when he started to get more targets, he got more catches, and you've seen him work his way up consistently to the top. One, he's very durable. He doesn't get hurt, knock on wood, but still he plays with all types of injuries. He's at 1,000 yards every season. He's at 100+ catches every season with 1, maybe 2 drops, and he gets 10+ touchdowns. I was talking to a local radio station, and they were asking, who do you think is like really the most important piece outside of Jared Goff? I said either Penei Sewell or Amon-Ra St. Brown. If Amon-Ra St. Brown takes away 1,000-yard receiver from that offense, that's literally your whole passing game right there. Mm-hmm. Amon-Ra has consistently been in the top 2, 3, even 1 in my opinion at times. Depending on the way they use him. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown is still underrated, and they undervalue him.
I was thinking of this earlier, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong or not. But outside, because Jerry Rice was drafted where? In the later rounds, right? Right? Jerry Rice?
I think he was drafted I think he was drafted in the first. I think it was the first round, wasn't it? Wasn't it J Train? We had this conversation before.
I thought he was later, but okay. Well, if that's the case, I would argue, and I know I'm
Jerry was first. Jerry was first.
Okay, well then never mind.
But he was from a small school. That was the whole point.
Okay.
Jerry Rice.
Well, take Jerry Rice out of the equation. I would argue that Amon-Ra is probably the best late round receiver we've seen in a really, really long time. Somebody name me a better one.
Yeah, small school. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it was Mississippi Valley State.
Okay, but he still won the first round, so it doesn't matter. Okay, but he is the best late round receiver in the longest time. I want somebody to give me another name better than that.
I agree. No, I agree with you.
With his stats, the all pros, the 100-yard receptions, all that stuff. Find me a better receiver. Puka Nacua is trending, but he's not Amon-Ra's level yet. He needs to play more.
And as much respect I have for Puka Nacua, you have to be able to consistently put those numbers up every year, no matter who's playing what, and you got to stay healthy. Yeah. You know, a lot of people don't like to count health in and who you play, but you got to stay healthy as well.
And he's been very durable.
A lot.
Okay. All right, we kind of went away from our buy and sell question, so I'm gonna circle back around. It was good. It was a good discussion. So buy or sell with the current offensive line. I would estimate we probably all agree Panay, Tate, Mays, and I'm gonna slide Simo in unless I hear something otherwise. Simo at the other guard, and maybe Miller, because I think Miller's getting first team reps, or is it Brome? I think it's Miller.
It's Miller.
It's Miller. Okay, so it might be Miller. So let's say Miller. Is this team at the end of the season? Is this line at the end of the season top 10?
If they gel.
Yeah. We got to see.
You got to gel.
You got to gel. You got to see how they do. Tough times. I mean, it's not.
But if you're looking at crystal ball at the end of the season, do you think this line could be a top 10 unit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And if they don't make it top 10, they'd be at 11. I can't see them being too far outside of.
Yeah, I agree. The talent, I mean, not only, yes, Panay is the leader of this group. There's no doubt. We don't have to worry about Panay. In fact, I think Jared Goff sleeps better at night knowing Panay Sewell is your protector on the blind side, 100%. We don't sniff at Tate. I think Tate's going to take another step forward. He had a great last year. He's going to have a better year this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Cade Mays is going to be a good, solid addition. I don't know how good he's going to be, but he's going to be better than what we had last year. That's for damn sure. And then the guard and tackle. That's where I'm the other guard and the other tackle. We'll see. TBD.
I think well, we're gonna get into that later about the positions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not liking Simo. I'm just not. I think that Miles Frazier's a better fit at guard. I think he's more of a.
Well, he's more athletic. He's more athletic than Simo. There's no doubt about that.
Did you see not Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell talk about Miles Frazier? You actually like him a lot too. I think he gets the spot, Mahogany, but I think Frazier's going to work himself in there because I mean he's on the up and up.
And from my experience from watching them play last year, Simo seemed like a better run guard than protector, and Frazier seemed like a better protector than run guard at times. And so
I disagree with that because I've seen him when he replaced Simo. When Simo got hurt, he was out there just road grading people, and it was passing or running situations.
Okay, then maybe they were both terrible at protecting the quarterback.
He made his debut against Pittsburgh. Was it against Pittsburgh?
He played against Dallas.
Yeah, he road graded the hell out of. I remember the defensive tackle on there, but that dude was like 5 to 10 yards down from where they started.
I've seen that, and
that was the one where GIBBS ran up the middle.
Yes,
I was like, damn.
And they pointed Miles Frazier out like, look at how he moves this guy out of the gap. Look at how.
Yeah, but the thing also too with Frazier, this is why Frazier probably does make more sense. Is Frazier played tackle at LSU, so he's had the feel of playing against pass rushers as a tackle. Simo just plays straight guard. But the thing I hear about Simo is nasty. He's a finisher, you know. I don't know, like I haven't seen a lot from Frazier, so I guess right now who's getting the first team reps? I know Simo was out, probably was Frazier. So now that Simo's back, is Simo getting the first team reps right now?
No, I haven't really.
Okay.
So, that, really.
Yeah, so maybe something to keep an eye on. But I think they're good. Both
again,
good
I think Frazier's nasty too. He showed that last year when he was playing. He was nasty. He's putting people's helmets in the dirt. That's how he was playing when he got his limited. Now he's a rookie. He was a rookie last year, so he did make some rookie mistakes.
Sure,
so
they both did.
You got to get over that. You got to get over that hump a little bit. But I think that he'll be better than Simo, given some time. I just think that.
So is it between those two guys, or do you throw Ben Barch in?
I think it's between those two guys. Ben Barch will be like if somebody gets one of those two get injured, he'll be
the backup.
for them.
He'll be a backup. Yeah. Okay.
For any of the guards, So
okay. All right. And our last topic, we talked about JMO. I know you saw the catch of JMO. I was praying his legs did not get caught under him. That was scary. But JMO definitely is making more contested catches in practice. Looks like his hands, trying to get his hands better. He said he was working on catching with his hands. I don't know why he doesn't do the jug machines like Amrad does every time. I mean, you want to learn from the best. Go do it every day like he does it. But anyways, Dortch does it actually. Funny fact, he actually does 200 something himself. So yeah, there's another guy we got to keep an eye on is Dortch.
Absolutely. Special teams player. Look, I gotta get
absolutely. Yeah, and he's got familiarity, Petsing, and all that. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. But talk about JMO. If I say JMO's going to have 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns, are you buying and selling those numbers?
So I'll buy it. Absolutely.
I'll buy it.
Okay. He's only had around 1,000 yards every one of his years, so this would be a big jump for him if he goes to 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns. I think he's had about the same.
I think Goff is more comfortable with him and his route running. His route running has become better. He knows how to. I think he's knowing how to break his speed against corners at the right time, and that's what gets him open. You look at some of the offensive play calls in the last few years, where one specific wide receiver was getting called on to be the one to get the ball. You ever notice that, like in some plays, you see Amon gets the ball. But guess what? JMO's like way open on the sideline, and it switches back. JMO will get the ball, and you see a man running free off of it. It's like, what the hell, man? Who's not paying attention to these two receivers?
I'm pretty sure there's times where JMO's almost every time open. Like he beats his defender. I mean, if you just watch his get off against the cornerbacks or the Lions, good luck. Yeah. Because as soon as you let him go, nobody's catching that guy. Yeah. Like. The only thing will stop JMO is his hands. There's been times where he breaks out the route wide open, and for some reason he has a freaking drop, and it's just like so frustrating. It's like, oh my god,
they always
JMO, you're so fast.
The top to guard JMO because he's so fast that once he breaks past that cornerback, he's gone. So you need a fail safe, and
it kind of reminds me of that movie, The Replacements, with Clifford Franklin. Like he's so fast, and the first thing they say is, "But can he catch?"
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he can. Absolutely.
And that's what we got you for.
Exactly.
And he still can't catch that.
Yeah, he still can't catch the Twinkie.
Stick him on his hand.
Steps on. It's like a jacked off an elephant, coach. All right.
You notice don't look right, coach.
All right. So we are going to start our roster breakdowns. We're going to talk 2 positions today. We're going to talk about the quarterback and we're going to talk about the running back. So let's go with the quarterback first. Currently, right now on the depth chart, it is Jared Goff. Surprise, surprise. Teddy Bridgewater is the backup. And Luke Altmyer from Illinois is the 3rd quarterback. So, obviously, Jared Goff, we expect him to be Jared Goff. Probably 30, 35 touchdowns, probably around 10 interceptions, 60-something, 65% completion rating. Yeah, maybe he'll have some more running yards. I don't know. That's wishful thinking. I think the real battle is between Teddy Bridgewater and Luke Altmyer. I mean, I don't think Luke's going to succeed Teddy Bridgewater because they love Teddy Bridgewater. But I think after this season, that's going to be a discussion. Depending on how well Luke fits the system and plays well in preseason, you could make an argument that maybe he could be the backup going forward. Yeah. What are y'all's thoughts?
Yeah, I was just going to say, whenever we got into that topic, I think that they were going to keep 3 quarterbacks on this roster because Luke Altmyer, that's nobody to scoff at. And Teddy Bridgewater, really, he got 1 foot out of the door. So, I mean, you want to see what you got in him. I mean, you would keep Teddy Bridgewater, obviously, because he's capable.
Robbie.
Once
again, nothing to do with what we're talking about, but thank you.
That is crazy. But yeah, you know, I think you keep 3 quarterbacks on there, and I think
So you think they're going to keep 3 on the active roster, or you think they're going to put 2 and maybe try to get them on the?
They're going to keep. No, they're going to keep 3.
They keep all 3 for
really?
Sure. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Interesting.
They wanted they would want if they got Altmaier as a rookie, they're gonna and they really think highly of him. Now, yeah, you're right. He's not gonna succeed Bridgewater this year, but Bridgewater is gonna probably retire after this year.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah, he's like what, 35 years old or something.
Yeah,
like that?
he's probably gonna retire for good. And
33. Well, he's actually only 33. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's a journeyman for one, and he's not going to probably start on anybody's football team going forward. And you don't want to be a career backup for the rest of your life. So I would think, and he's got things that he does off the field that he can get into a season with. But
what I find very surprising though, he chose to come back to Detroit. Now that says a lot though. Right. I know people
from Tampa Bay.
Yeah, from Tampa
Bay.
I honestly low-key think that he's going to become our quarterback's coach or assistant quarterback's coach. Kind of like a JT Barrett role, like they did with Skipper too. They're going to give him a role in the Lions organization because Dan loves Teddy Bridgewater. So does Brad. They adored the guy.
I love it.
Yeah. I do.
Bridgewater's got really good work ethic, I think, and that's the reason why.
And you see what he's done with JMO too.
Yeah,
kind of getting him in a better headspace and all that stuff.
Yeah, so I'm with Jay Weezy about that. Goff, Bridgewater, and all. I think they're keeping all three.
So I'm gonna throw a curveball to you. Let's say they keep Altmaier. If you guys think they're gonna keep him on the active roster, I think they're gonna find a way to keep him on the practice squad, but that's just me. But maybe they do it just to kind of keep from somebody getting him. So let's say they keep him on the active roster. Do you still expect the Lions to draft a quarterback in the next draft if they have Altmaier on the roster?
I mean, I think they will be drafting a quarterback. I mean, again, Altmaier, he's going to probably be a good backup. He's good enough to be a backup in the league. There's some quarterbacks that come in the league, and that's what their job is being a backup quarterback. They can come in there and win you maybe a couple of games. And they can probably lose you a couple of games, but they're going to be somebody you're going to be dependent on if your starting quarterback goes down. So I would say that they keep him. Bridgewater will leave or retire wherever he does next year. They're going to probably go looking for another quarterback, and next year will be a good time to be looking for a quarterback.
That's I wouldn't
be surprised. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, depending on how they do this season, because Goff's not going to last forever. Let's be real. They go up there and they spend a couple of picks to get a good quarterback. I'm not saying they're going to go get Manning from Texas or whoever. You know what I'm saying? They're going to get a pretty decent. I mean, because they're pretty good at scouting. That's one thing Brad is really good at scouting.
Yeah, he has really good scouts. Absolutely.
So I mean, if they can find them a quarterback that would fit the system that the Lions run, and he's a pretty he's like a top 20 quarterback, I'm sure they're going to go after that person.
Would you say like a second or third round, maybe?
Yeah, second or third round. Because the first round, I don't think they're going to take a chance going over
there. Are they in the market for a quarterback? That's barring Altmaier just doesn't have some miraculous season where you're like, okay, I trust him to be the future.
Let's just say he plays well in the preseason, and for whatever reasons, let's just hear me out for a second. He plays well in the preseason, and he outplays Teddy, and they decide to keep him as the backup to Goff. Then, do you still go for a quarterback in the next draft?
Okay. Again, he's not a starting quarterback. He's a backup.
That's like if you just knows like he's just like a good backup quarterback, then yeah, you got to do it. But that, like I say, he has to have a miraculous season, like moments to where you can trust him with the offense.
That dude's got to be a world beater to be considered as a starter.
I'll tell you what,
in the 27-28 season, they not keep you. He have to have one of those types of seasons, and I don't see that.
And I think we're gonna see probably the starters for at least a couple of series. I do. I don't think they're gonna sit him out this year. I think they're gonna play him. You're gonna see a couple of starters out for a couple series, and then the rest of it's gonna be between Altmaier and Teddy Bridgewater. So it's going to be really interesting to see who runs the offense better. I mean, it's expected Teddy should run away with this, but I've seen Altmaier play. He's not a scrub. He can play. He's got some skill. He's got some wheels. He's got good accuracy. He doesn't have a very strong arm, but he's more of a compact kind of thrower.
Yes.
But I'm interested to see how they're going to play in preseason, because that to me is going to be a battle. Right.
Being a Big Ten fan, a Michigan fan, I know Luke Altmyer very well, and he can play. And one thing he can do, he may not have the strongest arm, but he can get the ball to his receivers, and he can extend plays with his feet, which is a big weapon for quarterback nowadays.
Something we haven't seen with the Lions in a long time.
Quarterbacks on, but like a position I think you're going to see a lot of in the preseason though is the starting line, because they need reps together. You need live reps.
Absolutely.
See how y'all gel and what you
definitely
going into the season.
So circle back to let's circle back to the prediction. So you both think that he's going to make the 53-man roster. I personally think that they probably will try to find a way to put him on the practice squad, because if somebody is taken for the practice squad, they have to put him on their active roster. That means they have to literally move one of their quarterbacks. So I don't know if that's going to happen. I think they'll probably cut him and then bring him back, my opinion, but we'll see. If he plays really well, more likely he probably will make the 53-man roster, and he could very well outseed Teddy Bridgewater. So we'll see. All right, let's move to the running backs. B kind of highlighted earlier. Right now, JAHMYR GIBBS, of course, star running back. Isaiah Pacheco is supposed to be his Robin this year, hopefully, if he stays healthy. Sion Vaki, we don't know what's going to happen with him. Guy just gets freak injuries after freak injuries. He got poked in his eye from a shield or something. Like, what the hell are we doing?
Nose.
Yeah, he got broken nose and he got poked in the eye. Like, oh my God. So anyway, Sion Vaki is supposed to be your third running back, and then we have Jacob Sailors as your fourth running back, and then there's another guy, I think Jamal Smalls or Smalls.
Jabari Smalls.
Jabari Smalls, thank you.
Kyle Robichar.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robichar,
Yeah, and then they picked up another guy too. Was that the guy you're talking about? Blackshear. There you go, Blackshear. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, so let's talk about the room real quick. Obviously, Gibby is the star player. Okay, we don't have. Appreciate it. We don't have an update on Pacheco. I expect him to be there game one. Pacheco, he's gonna play.
Yeah. I can see that. Who do
you expect to be that third running back? Do you think it's going to be Vaki, Sailors, anybody else in the room?
Me personally, I think it's going to be Vaki. Vaki's he hasn't really lived up to the hype that he was brought in there on, and I didn't think he was either. Yep. After JAHMYR GIBBS and you remember we used to have a very solid running back core, and then we let people go. Now I think the running back room is kind of one of the weakest we have right now.
They'll probably draft a running back next year. I guarantee.
Yeah, they'll probably have to do that. Yeah, or they'll get a better free agent, because Isaiah Pacheco, I don't have faith in him. I'm sorry. I just don't have faith.
Running backs, the Lions can get in next year's draft.
But I think Jacob Sailors will be one of the running backs that makes a depth chart. So I think he'll be up there.
I think Sailors.
Yeah, he's there's an undisclosed injury. I haven't seen if he made practice today, but he didn't make it Friday and Thursday.
Okay. So I mean, again, it's training camp. Everybody's banged up. So let's see what happens when game one happens.
Real quick, what y'all think about Jordan Marshall or Justice Haynes? That'd be two good running backs coming out of next year's draft.
I mean, both Michigan guys.
The Lions are in position. If the Lions are in position to get those players,
they will draft a running back. I'm telling you right now, they will draft a running back in the next round, because I think that you made a great point about it, is that Pacheco and GIBBS are kind of the same kind of players. Though I do think Pacheco runs more inside than outside than Gibby does. They are kind of the same players and same body type. So you kind of need more of a bruising back, more likely to complement a guy like Gibby. So I definitely think they'll be looking for a running back in the later rounds. I trust Brad to find somebody like that. I think Sailors is a good, solid back. Even if Pacheco goes down or even Gibby goes down, Sailors can step into a role. He's a hard runner. He in preseason, he ran really well. I take Najee Harris. I don't give a crap. I like Najee Harris. That's crazy. So free agent.
What happened with that? Did his eye ever improve after that accident, or what?
I don't know.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, but I like Sailors. I think Sailors could very well be a very formidable back for us if he has to be a starter. He'd be solid.
And we did bring Najee Harris in there for a spell too.
Okay, we worked him out too. Okay.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, Sion Vaki, if he can just stay healthy, man, I want to see. Sion Vaki played pretty well in preseason last year. I want to see more of him, but he's got to stay healthy. That's just the problem with him. Guy just gets crazy injuries.
I mean, he's
out there too, though.
He's a training camp guy. He's not when he was playing in the real, when they put him in spots in the real season, he wasn't effective. And that's where you want to see that I don't care if you do training camp well, you do preseason games well. That doesn't count toward real season. That's why I just think that was kind of one of those I'm going to grab something out of the air kind of things that Brad Holmes did. Sometimes he does.
Well, yeah, he wasn't a running back starting off. He was a defensive back
safety.
for Utah, and then they had so many injuries that he just happened to go on the scene and play well as a running back. So again, like a Derek Barnes situation. He hasn't played running back in a long time, so it might take him a minute to kind of get his legs under him. But I will say this about Vaki, and I've read a lot of beat writers say this too about him. He ain't going anywhere. He's a special teams core player. Like, they love him on special teams. DayFit talks about him all the time, and they see him as a special teams guy. And usually that third or fourth running back needs to be a special teams. They're not going to put Pacheco or Gibby out there.
He still has the position of being a safety. So I mean, he wasn't the greatest safety on Utah, but he was a safety nevertheless.
He could be a pinch if we have him go down. Yeah, throw him back there.
Right.
Yeah, sure, exactly. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, very, very true. And the Lions are not afraid to put claims on players. They did that last year with Lacey, and they did that last year with Harper. And both have worked out. They're both probably going to make the 53-man roster. So they will put a claim out. If they need another running back, they will put a claim out for him. So I have no worry about that with the Lions. So other than that, I think this room goes as far as Gibby stays healthy. If Gibby's healthy, everybody falls in line. If Gibby gets hurt for any reason, you're relying on Pacheco for bigger loads, and you're relying on Sailors to take a bigger role. And we don't know where that's going to happen. And we don't know where the line's going to be. So as long as Gibby is healthy and running wild like he did last year, the Lions will be fine.
Yeah, they really don't have the advantage that they've had the last couple of seasons with that either, because you got to look at it like this. I mean, Montgomery was back there. Montgomery can play a game, play a whole game on his own. Obviously, he's had starting.
Yeah, he's been starter. Yeah,
and then behind him, who do we have behind him before? Behind them, what's the dude's name? But we had good running backs behind him, capable running backs behind him. Yeah. It's just that now it's kind of like JAHMYR GIBBS goes down, I'm gonna be really concerned about the running game for this Lions offense.
Well, even if Monty was on this team and GIBBS went down, we'd be limited.
I wouldn't be as concerned.
I would still be concerned because those two running backs are two different players. Like
Montgomery did it all.
But Montgomery can still carry a team. That's the difference. I don't know if Pacheco can't do it anymore because of his injuries. That's the point. That's the reason why he is a backup.
And I think that with
Gibby's a starter. Come on.
With Montgomery being so tough, I think that he brought a little bit more to the offense. Now, JAHMYR GIBBS is great. We could all agree upon that. Very fast, very elusive. But when you needed those 5 yards, you went to Montgomery for those. Remember that last run?
Well, he struggled getting those yards too sometimes too. I'll give you some credit, but there were times where we had 3rd and 1 yardage and he couldn't get that 1 yard. Now it's disappointing.
Remember,
some of it could have been the line too. So
I mean, I'll agree with you on that. But remember, 4th and 1.
No, I agree. Yeah.
2 seasons ago, last game.
Yeah. More often than not, Montgomery would be the guy that you go to.
Yes,
that will get those yards in goal line situations. I just don't have that trust in Pacheco. I don't have that trust in Sailors. I don't have that trust in the rest of the running backs in that.
Yes, I agree.
But if the line is blocking like crazy and they have the holes, it doesn't matter who it is. They'll get their touchdowns. So, but if the line can't block,
apples to apples, oranges to oranges. Yeah, of course, if the offensive line is blocking like an all-pro Hall of Fame line, everybody can rush through that. But that's not
right.
the point I'm trying to make. If the line is not blocking well, I would trust Montgomery better than I trust any of the guys that we got on the roster right now. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely. Remember when Jared Goff fell on that 4th and 1, y'all, against Green Bay? You know who picked up that first down to save the game?
I know. No, I get it. I mean, he's had moments. There's no doubt about that. But I also think too that there are a lot of times where I looked for him to get that easy yard and he couldn't get it. And I don't know if it was the line, if it was him not reading the whole right.
Same problem though.
Well, I'm not running JAHMYR. I'm not running JAHMYR.
But JAHMYR has been put in those situations and he couldn't get a first down, and he's supposed to be on purpose back because of the offensive line.
Exactly.
But
so
I still put the trust. I still trust them too. I don't know what you have against Montgomery, not what it is.
It's not that I don't have against. Okay. I don't have.
Pacheco is not nowhere near what Montgomery is.
Okay, I don't have anything against Montgomery, but I do think that the way the Lions looked at it is that either he wanted a bigger role and they weren't going to give it to him, or they wanted a bigger role for Gibbs and he wasn't okay with it. It's either one of those two. So that's why he's no longer with us. Now, as far as Pacheco, yes, he's not Dave Montgomery. He doesn't have the girth or the size of his ability to unleash those hits. But he does run hard. Like, you can't tell me he doesn't run hard. Like he runs like he's a 225-pound back.
Again, that's the reason why his ass gets hurt a lot, because he keeps trying to run.
How many games did he miss last year, B? For the Chiefs, how many games?
Most of half the season.
He missed a lot. I think he missed like what?
Well, no, last season he played. Yeah, I think
because he broke his foot, right?
Yeah, in his career, over his 4-year career, he's missed 13 games, and Montgomery's missed 10 over 8 years. So I'm not. Yeah,
I'm thinking,
and this is what I fear about Gibbs too, because Gibbs, he doesn't really run up the middle that much, but he's going to be asked to do that.
Yeah,
and he's going to take a lot of punishment going through that line.
Yes, sir.
And he's supposed to be a top running back too.
Yeah, I've seen Gibby take hits. He can take them. It's just him being smart about trying to get those extra yards.
But hey, fellas, I'm out. I got to get going.
Okay. All right, man. Take it easy.
Peace. One ass cheek, 3 toes.
Take care, man.
All right, man.
Okay. So he played how many games last year? I'm trying to see. So he had around 500 yards last year. 118 carries.
Yeah.
Okay, here it is. He played 17 and 22, 14 and 23. He only played 7 and 24. He played 13. So he missed 4 games. He played 13 last year. So, but I get what you're saying. That's a fair argument. I also think two people don't understand that the Chiefs don't run the football a lot in Kansas City. They really rely a lot on Patrick Mahomes.
That's just another goalpost you're moving. First of all, they was a starting running back for 13 in those games. That's right. It was a starting run. He was starting for 13, and he didn't get the yards that Montgomery got as being. And Montgomery was not a starter last year. He was not a starter in any of the 17 games, and he played all 17 games. He was not a starter, and he still had more yards than Pacheco did in 13.
But let me ask you this question. Who has better run graders, the Lions or the Chiefs? I would say the Lions have better run graders, run guards than the Chiefs do. Chiefs are probably more better protectors.
No, I think the fact that Mahomes can move in the pocket a lot better makes their offensive line better than it is. It's not a really good offensive line either.
Yeah.
But still, it doesn't make a difference. Pacheco, the primary focus on the Chiefs offense is passing. Running back is not the greatest. So they can put any average running back there. I'm going to tell you something. We'll see what happens with Kenneth Walker. I bet you Kenneth Walker does a hell of a job on that team. I bet you they won't have to they'll be taking off the pressure of Patrick Mahomes.
Kenneth Walker doesn't have – Pacheco doesn't have the cut of Kenneth Walker does. He's got a great jump cut where he can get to the hole and get out of it. Pacheco just runs hard. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I don't know. I mean, that is an interesting addition because they really don't run the football a lot. B like they like to throw the ball and throw the tight ends and the receivers. They've never been tops in running the football. So it will be interesting with getting a new running back if that mantra does change with the Chiefs, where they do become more of a run heavy offense. You know, they should, because you're right. Walker is a stud.
They probably should be changing that offense around because Patrick Mahomes getting older.
Sure,
the offensive line isn't the offensive line that it used to be 3 or 4 years back.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, like I said, Mahomes made the offensive line better because of the fact he can move in the pocket. And unfortunately, Goff is not one of those athletic quarterbacks that can do that kind of stuff. He's just a passer. He's a quarterback. So I have a bad feeling that if something happened, and like I said, knock on wood, I don't want anything to happen to Gibbs because Gibbs is our bell cow.
Can't happen, man.
If it happens, I just don't have the confidence in the running back depth. That's all.
Hopefully we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, hopefully we don't. Hopefully that offensive line gels. Hopefully they get enough playing time together where they understand where their positions are at, and then they can come out, because that's another area of focus that I'm concerned about too, just because of the gel factor.
I get it. It's fair. All right. So I know we talked about maybe look at the preseason schedule, but I was going to see if you wanted to maybe talk about the Lions and the Cincinnati game, what you want to see, what are you looking for, who you wanted to spotlight on. I figure we just do a little bit of a preview of that, and then we can maybe look at some of these matchups. I mean, it's preseason. We don't know if the starters are going to play at all. I do expect if they're going to play, they're probably going to play this game or maybe the next game. What do you think?
Would say they play the last game, because that's the
Like
first.
The last game?
The last game is because it'll be the next game will be the real game.
Right.
And they want to get all that whatever they have in their system out of their system so they can go right into the flow of playing a real game.
That would be interesting, yeah, because the last game is.
That's what they used to do. Like, they used to do that all the time in preseason.
Right, but now they don't do that.
The last game.
Right, but now what they do is they make it more of the competition game where these people that are on the bubble, they play them that last game to see who's going to make the roster.
They can still do that. They can still do that. They're not playing the starters the whole game. They're going to be playing maybe a quarter.
Yeah,
I would say Dan is still skeptical of doing that kind of stuff, but I think
how much should Goff
probably
play?
Put him in a Goff, probably just one quarter. I would just have him out there in one quarter. Whether they're successful or not running down the field, at least they'll be out there playing, so they get the juices flowing for the regular season.
Did the starters play in the Hall of Fame game at all?
No, there was no. I think maybe offensive linemen and some rookies.
Okay, so no starters played.
Slated to be starters. Hell, Jeremiah Love didn't play in that game.
Okay.
So
I think the NFL is kind of a copycat league, so I think that game 2 is probably more realistic for the starters to play. But you might be right. Maybe it might be the last game. What do you expect to see, or what are you looking to see? What are you gonna focus your eye on in that game?
Well, I'm focusing on the cornerbacks because everybody's vying for a position except maybe DJ Reed. His position is solid, but everybody else is fighting for a position. So they're going to throw everybody. I think that will be the one where your eventual starter will come out of there. You would think who would be starting in those positions, but everybody's going to be fighting for whoever the hell is going to be out there. So that. And probably Devin White will get some action because they just signed him. I like to see that. And what do you mean, team or position?
Like roster?
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking at that. I'm also going to probably look at Blake Miller. Blake Miller's probably going to get a lot of playing time. I want to see how he holds up the
he's going to get a lot of playing
spot.
time. Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, team. Okay, he said team.
Rams.
The Rams are probably the most stacked team right now.
Especially if they had Aaron Donald. Yeah. Forget it.
Yeah, Aaron Donald is going to be joining them because you don't go out there and do all the stuff he's doing tonight.
Yeah, he's just pandering right now. He'll be there.
But on that Receivers, I'm not worried about looking at. I'm not worried.
I want to see
about
Dortch's
looking
return
at,
game. I want to see how he does in the return game. Like he's not gonna have the speed of Khalif Raymond, but he has the wiggle of Khalif Raymond. Like
I do think he makes the 53 though on a receiver.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
he's going to do that because he's going to take over Khalif's spot basically.
Yeah, he'll be the return guy for sure, punt return guy.
He's a possession guy. He'll be the possession guy if they need, if they go to a different wide receiver formation. If it's a possession, they'll have Amon-Ra out there, Dorsch out there, probably Tesla. Guys that can get the ball. Mm-hmm. See, JMO's more like our home run hitter, our touchdown getters guy. So
Tesla is your big X.
Yeah, he'll be the guy. Yeah, that should be able to throw like for a first down for if you need to get those.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the D line. Like I want to see Hassasin with his get off. He's lost a lot of weight. Mm-hmm. He's looked good so far, and Derek Moore if he can play. I don't know. He might not because he's got a groin injury. So
they moved Hassasin over to where Hutch is. They took him away from where Derek Moore and what's his name? Woonem.
Wantham
was that? Yeah,
Wantham. Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting too. I like to see that the left side, see what happens on there. I'm not worried too much. Hassasin, he's going to be good. He's going to back up. I really believe he's going to be a backup to Aiden Hutchinson because, to spell Aiden Hutchinson and Hassan's got a motor. So
the depth looks a lot better, man. I feel more confident.
The defensive
now
line looks a lot better. Yeah. I'm Aleem McNeil, he's still got a little bit to go on. I think he was injured earlier in camp too. So this dude's got to show them. He's got to show up this year. He really does. Yeah.
I'm also gonna look for Tyleek Williams. See if Tyleek Williams is out there. I want to see him continue that trajectory. Yeah, I like Tyleek a lot. Also, too, a guy on the D line that I want to see is the guys we drafted. Skylar Gildas-Hill. I liked him from Tech. Good big body guy that's got some wiggle. I want to see him blow up some plays or get in the backfield. Also, too, that West guy is supposed to have some good speed. I want to see him. So, yeah, a lot of good. We're going to see a lot of depth at the D line. Linebackers.
Ben Still.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that Ben Still. So
he'll probably get some. He'll get some there. Yeah.
Yeah. What about the O line? Who are you looking at the O line?
Blake Miller is who I was.
Blake Miller. Oh, okay. Yeah, you just said Blake Miller.
Everybody is just not. I mean, everybody else. I expect them to do what they're supposed to do. I'm sure they're going to have backups in there as well. I think they might get Tate Ratledge in there a little bit. Miles Frazier. Yeah. Again, that's an offensive line that's not really set. I think Ratledge.
They need some reps. They need some reps.
Penei Sewell, Ratledge, and K Mays are probably going to be guys that don't get a lot of reps because they're already going to be solidified as starters. It's just like you said. It's like the left guard, and the left tackle, or the right guard, and the right tackle. They're going to have the problem.
Like Juice will probably go in if Cade doesn't play. He'll probably play center because they like him as center and also guard. Barch, Frazier, yeah.
Nice will be in there a lot.
Yeah, Nice, Manu. Oh, he's out for that. He's out for one.
And Seth McLaughlin will probably take a lot of the center duties too because he's a natural center.
Yeah, so him and Juice. Yeah, they'll probably switch up. So. Yeah, I mean, obviously the first preseason games or usually preseason games are very vanilla.
No, that's all right. Eagles are a good team too. That's a model team.
Yeah, they got a hell of a defense.
They're a good team. Yeah.
Appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Yeah. So whatchamacallit, what was I gonna say? Like the preseason games usually are very vanilla. You're not gonna see a lot of big plays or anything crazy. But I do want to see like how, Petzing does kind of call games a little bit. I know he's not going to give the whole kitchen sink, but at least give some, you can just kind of read between the lines of how he lines them up, the matchups or the pre-snaps and all that. Just see how he wants to do things. I am interested to see on that. And then of course, Shep, how aggressive are you going to be defensively? Like I do want to see some aggression early.
I think that's in the preseason, you're not going to see a lot of that because they don't want to tip their hand to, future games in the regular season. I just want to see basically what training camp and preseason are for. If you're running basic stuff, you can tell who are the players and who ain't, because some people will turn basic stuff into superstardom. You know what I'm saying? Like King did against Arizona. I mean, the dude went out there to play. He was there for business. He wasn't there for pleasure. He was there for business. And that's what you want to see. When you're running basic offensive and defensive drills or defensive play calling, you want to take those basic things and make them extraordinary. If you can find players that can do that, those are the players that are going to stick with the team.
True. Another thing.
Well, it's called vanilla defense and vanilla offense for a reason.
Another thing too is, I would also say I want to see tackling. Like that's the one thing. Preseason or no preseason, you better tackle the ball.
Basic football.
Wrap up, man. Just wrap up. I don't want to see no hits and then you bounce off and they score a touchdown. Like, let's see some actual wrapping up. So I'm gonna be looking at that, how good the tackling is and all that. But yeah, I think it's gonna be good. Like I always love watching these preseason games because I look at all the players and I look at who has made the impact, who's being called out, who's missed their assignment or stuff like that. And so it'll be fun to see that and break it down the next time we talk. So but let's just do a rundown real quick of the schedule for the preseason. Pull that up here. Man, football's almost here. All right, so yeah, the Lions are playing the Bengals. Bengals are 3.5-point favorites. I don't even know how they figure these spreads out. Go figure. Don't bet in preseason unless you're degenerate.
Right.
Packers and Steelers.
They're gonna dig at you. They're playing soccer.
Yeah, whatever. Horns down. Anyways, Colts and Patriots, Cardinals and Raiders, Chargers and Texans, speaking of Liz, Titans and 49ers, Broncos and Falcons, Buccaneers and Jets, Dolphins, Commanders, Bears and Browns, Panthers, Bills, Giants and Vikings, Saints and Jaguars and Saints. And that's next week. I'll say. Okay, so that was it stopped after the Dolphins and Commanders. So yeah, anybody that you're looking to watch in preseason that kind of you want to see how good they look starting off. It could be any team.
But if I'm looking at any team, I really want to see them get Jeremiah Love into the Arizona offense. I was really, really impressed with Carson Beck. Now, again, it's a preseason game. There's a Hall of Fame.
But he's got the quarterback intangibles. He does.
He looks really well. I mean, King came out there and did a really good
King
job
too. Yeah.
We had this argument on one of my sports shows about quarterbacks that are looking, starting quarterbacks that could lose their jobs. And I try to make a case for Carolina. I don't think it's going to happen, but Bryce Young's got to watch his back because, first of all, he's already in a target right now for the ownership right now. They're saying, hey, dude, you got to do good this season or we might have to move on from you. And they did get Kenny Pickett as a vet, and I'm not saying he's going to be a starter, but if Bridgewater goes down, if Bryce goes down or he's not effective during the season, you got Kenny Pickett to be the bridge. And then you got King in there. There's a whole thing that, it can happen to Carolina. So they're the ones. Cleveland's got a quarterback issue. The Jets got quarterback issues. Arizona, like we were talking about, really is probably the one that's going to be the first one that gets replaced. I think Brissett's not going to make it past 3 games. And I don't think that's just because I think his team is just crap.
Yeah, they're playing for number 1 position for sure.
Yeah.
I tell you what, man, I saw a highlight of him in training camp. Carnell Tate. Did you see that catch he had across the middle? Damn. Those Ohio State receivers, man, they're something else, man. Even CH the hell's his name? Marvin Harrison Jr. made a nice catch in his training camp.
He's been dropping passes.
Yeah, well, he made that one, but
and Chase has been dropping passes, but nobody cares about all that.
Yes,
because Chase will come out. He did that last year too. So.
We're on till the season ends.
Yep, season
literally,
ends.
Literally.
Yeah. The Lions. We're on till the Lions season ends. I'll put it to you that way.
Pretty much, yeah. Because after that, we're like, oh man, season's over. We're done.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I want to see Cardinal Tate.
Pick it alone.
I want to see Cardinal Tate and how he plays well with the Titans, because if he can be a dude for them, that's going to help out Ward so much. Ward needs another receiver that can really stretch the field like he has with Ridley, you know. So,
yeah, I kind of want to see like Bain for
Ruben Bain,
Tampa Bay, because he's going to be a focal point now because of the fact that Vita Vea is having contract issues.
Yeah,
and Tampa Bay is on the verge of just. I don't know if they're not going to win that division. I think the Saints are going to win that division, but I don't know if they're going to finish in the top 2 or 3. That could be up for grabs between Carolina and Atlanta.
Yeah, I'd have to look at their schedule, but I mean, they're going to vie for that division. That division's so bad. I mean, I honestly think the Falcons very well. If they have a capable quarterback, they'll win that division, because they have the most talent out of that whole.
That's another team that has problems with quarterbacks too.
True, yeah. So if you look at it just by ifto facto, the quarterback, I would take Baker Mayfield over everybody in that division.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be Tampa Bay to win it all. But big but no Mike Evans. That's a huge loss. I love Mike Evans.
And then when the chips were on the line, Ekuba, he didn't play very well.
Akuba, he wasn't.
He faded at the end of the season, and that's when Mike Evans wasn't playing. And when you're not playing, if you're not gonna take the number 1 spot, I don't care if you're a rookie or not. You had your you shined all during the the first half of the season, and then when Mike Evans goes down, she kind of like was lost in the sauce.
He should take over that number 1 spot, but they still got Godwin. They still got Godwin still too.
And Godwin's always a second fiddle. I think Godwin's going to stay second fiddle.
It should be Akuba. I agree with you. It should be Akuba.
Yeah. He's going to take the number 1 slot, but he's got to earn that number 1 slot. To me, he can't be fading, because that's a weapon that Baker's got to use. But yeah,
for sure. Any other NFL news that caught your eye or that you want to talk about? Mostly just been training camp news, but
I mean, the big news surrounding Aaron Donald.
Yeah, Bijan
joining the
got
Rams.
his deal.
Bijan
got his.
Jonathan Stewart got his.
Jonathan Taylor.
Zay Flowers, Jonathan Taylor, and John.
Zay Flowers got his extension. Yeah. To the chagrin of Robbie, he don't like the Ravens, but yeah, Zay Flowers got his money. Appreciate it. Awesome. Yeah, man. Every time we play y'all, it's always fun, man. I mean, last year it was interesting because there were times where I felt like we could win that game, and things happen. And
I think the teams are a little bit better this year, Robbie. I don't think 7 wins are going to win the division. I think
probably
I think
8.
I would say 9. I'd say 9 or 10. I mean, last year that division was actually just given to Carolina because nobody else wanted it, I guess.
Oh God. There's Sonia on the other side, probably not liking what you just said there.
That's all right. It's the truth. Facts hurt. I said, but you lost 9 times, Sonia. That's the point I'm trying to make to you. You lost 9 times, so, and you had to have help from have help from good old Atlanta to beat New Orleans. Because New Orleans knocked you off twice. So what's your excuse for that one? And Tampa Bay act like they didn't want to win the division either. You lost when you had a chance to win.
All I know,
Carolina.
All I know is we play the Saints this year and we play Carolina. So we have to have J-Train and we have to have Sonya on the show when we play
the whole division this
year.
We
gotta have y'all on the show. So I don't care what y'all are doing. Y'all are coming on our show and talking smack to us, and we're talking smack to you because we love talking to y'all. And now we're playing y'all, so bring it on. We're ready. But yeah, one thing I do want to close in before we wrap the show up is I was thinking about this earlier when we were talking about the GIBBS extension. So I was thinking about it, like you look at all the players that our Lions have locked up for the next 3 or 4 years, give or take. Goff, Sewell, Brown, JMO, Gibby. Pacheco's a 2-year deal, I think, or something like that. And then probably going to be Laporta too. Tate's in there for a while. Blake's in there for a while. You've got almost 9 to 10 players that are literally locked in for the next 3 to 4 years, 3 or 4 or 5 years. That's unheard of in today's NFL. So I just love that, because if anything is not, there's not a guarantee in anything, but if there is hope for something, our offense is going to be damn good for at least next 3 or 4 or 5 years. We can all agree on that. Because even at the worst year last year with a shitty O-line, we still were like top 10 or top 5 or whatever it was. And so now that the line is going to be hopefully better, Goff's going to be Goff, JMO's going to be JMO, Brown, Gibby, whatever. Like, this offense is going to be on a well-oiled machine for the next 3 or 4 years. And I think Petzing will be here for these 3 or 4 years. I don't see him being a head coach anytime soon. I think this is going to be a 3 to 4 year process with him, unless the wheels just completely fall off or whatever. I think this is going to be a great match for 4 or 5 years. Now, we could just get something on the defensive side that's average to a little bit above average. Now you're talking going back to Super Bowl. Now you're in that Super Bowl talk again. But I think it's with the defense, that's the question that we need to really hone in on, is how healthy can this defense stay and how good can they be in situational football,
Yeah, to tell you the truth, I really don't have a problem with the front seven. I think the front seven actually got better this year, but it all leans on them cornerbacks. And the corners, man, they don't play up to we got to get Brian Branch back. Kirby's got to be out there. I wouldn't be concerned about the secondary if Brian Branch and Kirby were starting. Would not have a
of course. Those are all pro players. Those are
they're the leaders out. They're the leaders out there on the defense. They are the captains on that whole defense. Yeah. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson's got his captaincy, but other than that, those two are that run that defense basically. So to see how these players adjust, the defensive backs adjust as the course of the season goes without those two players being in a lineup, that's going to be the key factor. Like Robbie says, he's not confident about our secondary, and nor am I. I got to see DJ Reed's got to step his game up.
When have we ever been confident in our secondary other than two players?
Yeah. So I mean, we've never been the. It's kind of funny too. The Lions used to have one of the best secondaries ever. Of course, this is way back in the 50s when they were winning championships.
Right.
We had Dick LeBeau. And we had Dick LeBeau, we had Night Train Lane, Barney. We had some extraordinary defensive backs.
Yeah.
I think that was part of the curse too. It said we're not going to give you Super Bowls or secondary for the next 60 years. We can give you one player maybe.
I think a Lions reporter. I think a Lions. No, I like Chuck Clark. I think a Lions reporter said it best. He said if DJ Reed goes down, we're screwed. We are absolutely more screwed than we ever been, because then who the hell is going to be your number one cornerback? Do you trust Rock to be the guy? I mean, if you trust Rock to be the guy, who's the second guy? Abney, McCrary, Nick Whiteside. You're talking about the Legion of Whom again. Shoot. But I will say this, B, if you're confident in the front seven, then it should make the back nine a lot more comfortable in some aspects. They're not going to cover as long.
Well, you hope there'll be enough pressures on there. I mean, I don't think the Lions have any problem pressuring. It's actually getting the job done.
Sacking the quarterback, right? Yeah, right, exactly.
And they did better than that. They did better last year.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if you don't, certain situations call I saw Aiden Hutchinson whiff on a couple of sacks he could have had.
Sure,
and those were game changing plays that he whiffed on.
I agree.
And that was against the secondary that sucked ass. And the biggest part of seeing that was when Jameis Winston came here. and lit up the secondary.
I was at that game. I remember that game.
And he was getting chased all around too, but he was still making plays on that secondary. That secondary was sometimes they didn't even know who was supposed to cover who at some points in that game. And that's what I'm talking about. Because you're gonna run into offenses like that. So
we don't need a star player opposite of Hutch, but we need a player that can set the edge and at least get about 6 to 7 sacks on the season. That's all we need. We don't need him to be a star player. Just set the edge, play the run well, and get about 5 or 6 sacks in the season, and make Aiden's job a lot easier. That's all we need. That's all we need. Whether it's DJ Wantham, whether it's Derek Moore, whether it's Hassasin, I don't care who it is. We just need somebody to step into that role, and I think this defense will even be better than we expect. So, on that note, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show. We want to give our shout outs, B. So, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I want to shout out. I want to shout out. First of all, I want to shout out StreamYard because that's what we use.
Always.
It's not a very confident shout out, but whatever. And the apparel that we have on is by Forever Faith. Forever Faith.
Love
Thank
it.
you for the apparel. It looks great. It's awesome.
Love the jersey.
For my T-shirt. Not you guys' fault. It's somebody else's fault.
You know who to call.
Yeah, you know who to call. But you guys are great. Thank you for providing that. Any of the sponsors that came on here, that potential sponsors that came on here, we appreciate catching our show. And I hope we can do business in the future.
Absolutely,
because we love to have you and get stuff.
Especially if you're a football fan, let's go.
Yeah, and in the NFL, is back. Although it's preseason, but
who cares, man? It's football.
It's football. Yeah.
The start of the regular season coming up soon.
True that. But anyway.
And then shout out our people that always comment. Robbie, of course. Always.
Robbie, oh yeah, all the commenters.
J-Train.
Yep. Liz, our promo gal. She does a great job with the promos.
Behind the scenes.
Helping us out and stuff and helping us with Forever Faith. So shout out to her. Shout out to J-Train. Thanks, J-Train, for coming on. Who Dat Nation.
Hey, congrats to Drew Brees. Shout out Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Best quarterback to ever play for the Saints.
Best quarterback. One of the top 3 quarterbacks of all time, in my opinion.
Love Drew Brees.
Yeah, he's great. Also, a shout out there to C Money. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here. He's got internet actions going on in his new home.
Sonia.
Sony didn't show up, but
she's always there. She's probably listening.
She's baby. She's at the Hall of Fame thing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she's at the Hall of Fame. Well, shout out Sonia.
She's taking pictures. She's trying to take pictures of Drew Brees and Luke Kuechly. But anyway,
hey, you better tell her to take a picture of Barry's bust and send it to us.
She ain't even thinking about Barry. Anyway,
hey, she's there, man. Just tell her, like, hey, take a picture for us for Barry. Come on.
And then I was thinking this is one of your people's here, Squirter for You, SQRT, whatever that.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Shout out.
But yeah. Yep. Shout out Danny. Thank you for showing up too. Danny is another guy showed up for us. So yeah. Love y'all.
Awesome.
Thanks for yeah, she is the GOAT.
She is the GOAT.
So yes, thanks for joining us and everything like that. Nate, you got anybody else you want to put out there?
No. Thank you for the people that listen, like and subscribe to the show. One Ass Chicken 3 Toes. Go to YouTube, please. We're working on a website, working on more merch. Soon to have some good stuff to roll out to you. Robbie, you're funny. You're just too much, Robbie.
Robbie's our comedy relief. I love Robbie.
Oh, Robbie. A little outside the bounds, but yeah, he's there.
Love you, man. Love you, man.
Yeah, take care, Robbie. But just thank you for everybody who likes to subscribe to the show. So we'll be back the week after next to talk about the Bengals in Cincinnati. B. That would work.
Yeah,
We'll
so see you in
highlight
2
that.
weeks, and then we'll start going every week after that.
Yeah,
talking about the games,
we'll ramp it up more.
news.
Right, exactly. This is a preseason game. We're not going to have too much to talk about, so I'd rather do it after the game's over because we have observations, feels, and all that. Plus, it's the same day. It's the same day we do the game too, so it's probably best we do it after that. But yeah, we'll ramp it up more, and yeah, as always, please leave us comments or suggestions and all that. And any final words, B, before we sign off?
Nope, I'm good.
All right, buddy. Well, take care. One pride. Have a good night, and we'll see you on the other side. One ass cheek and 3 toes. We're out. Peace.